Welcome to Cardamine Mesquite. I'm Angela. Tonight I'm going to give you the introductory steps for the beginning of learning to read playing cards. I'll wait a few minutes to see if a few people pop in, but I would be surprised. It's kind of late. My grandson had his 12th birthday tonight, so I was a little late getting started. It was fun though. He killed with Nintendo and Roblox gift cards. He was thrilled. Okay, the first thing you're going to need to do is get a new deck of cards. And you need them to be new because you need to mark the bottoms. And I'll show you how you do that. You open your deck. And then you break the seal, which isn't as easy as it looks sometimes. And then you're going to take out the jokers because we really don't use them. And you're going to check and make sure that you have them upright because we're going to be marking the bottom corners. We're going to be marking them like this. See how there's a strike through on the bottom of the ace? That's what we're going to do to the entire deck. And I use the Sharpie gel pen, but you could use any pen. If you use a pencil, it's going to rub off very easily. So you want to make sure you use a pen. And you just take your pen and strike through the ace. Strike through the A at the bottom. That's not showing up very good. Okay, so my pen doesn't want to start. Hi, Deb. How are you? Okay, you want to get a good mark through there so you can see it as you read the cards. And it'll look like this. See the ace at the bottom? And you do that through the whole deck. You mark the bottom of each card. And once you've got that done, then you can start putting the definitions on. And the definitions I'll provide in a spreadsheet later, but they're a lot different than most card reading methods, although there are similarities, even to the tarot. Like the Ace of Spades is the death card, and in this reading method, it's also for accidents. The top is death, means death, and the bottom means accidents. And death on this card too can mean transitions. It depends on what's around it. It'll change the meaning. And like the Two of Spades is minor quarrels. Everybody has those from time to time. But the meanings are different from the top to the bottom because while at the top it says minor quarrel, that's you being in a minor quarrel. It will, the bottom, when it comes up with the bottom up, when it comes up in reverse, it'll mean that someone else is going to be in a minor quarrel. And that'll be usually somebody that you know. And you'll probably be a witness to that quarrel. And like the Three of Spades is work. The reverse is someone out of work. And we'll go through all of these as we go along. I'm going to do classes on Saturdays. If y'all could leave comments after this video and let me know what time would be best for you. I'll try to reach a consensus of everybody that wants to learn. And then we'll hold classes. I'm not sure how many this will run for, but it's probably going to be like 6 or 8 classes to go through the whole deck. And that'll give you the basics. Later on, I can give more in-depth classes. But for right now, I'm going to be doing just the basic course on Saturdays. And we'll do that for probably 6 or 8 Saturdays. But this can be related to the tarot cards. It can numerology plays a part in this. The method I use is decades old. I mean, well, it's generations old. I learned from my late mother-in-law. She learned from her mother, who learned from her mother, who learned from her mother. So this method goes back quite far. Hi, Ron. Hi, Amanda Carroll. It's good to see you. I'm glad you're here because I've been wanting to do this for a while. And I'd have been here earlier, but my grandson had his birthday. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to start running a class, and we'll do it on Saturdays, probably for about an hour, depending on the subject we're covering. And in the tarot cards, the spades are swords. The spades are swords. Diamonds are pentacles. Then the clubs are wands. And the hearts are cups. So that's how they relate. And then we'll go through the numerology as we go through the classes. And the numbers relate to each card, but in this method, they have their own specific meanings. But as in every method, the Nine of Hearts is always the wish card. It's wish fulfilled. And you'll need to mark your deck. You'll need to mark a whole deck all the way through. And it can be any deck of playing cards. You can get them at the dollar store. It doesn't matter right now. After you've read for a couple of decades, you're going to want the linen finish cards because the plastic ones tend to get away from you a little bit. The linen finish is easier to shuffle and it's easier to deal. Now, when we read the cards, what we do is we'll shuffle them 3 times. And then the subject you're reading, the person you're reading, will cut the cards in 3 stacks towards them. And then you pick up the first stack and you read the first card. This one's for drinking and drugs. That's going to mean you're doing drinking and drugs. You're going to lie. And you're going to see someone you haven't seen in years. So these readings are very different. And then after you picked up the 3 stacks and stacked them together, you pull off the first 3 cards, 1, 2, 3, and then you pull off the 4th card. That's your first card. You lay them down and you'll do a spread. You pull off 1, 2, 3, and the 4th card, Queen of Diamonds. Then you pull off 1, 2, 3, and then the 4th one is the 8 of Diamonds. And this is just a sample reading. This is the general spread that I use. And then we got the Queen of Spades. And we got the 8 of Spades. And you just put them in a straight line across your table. And then we've got the 5 of Clubs. And then you 1, 2, 3. Then the 4th card, we've got the Ace of Clubs. 1, 2, 3. And then the 4th card is the 5 of Diamonds. The Ace of Diamonds. 1, 2, 3. The 4th one is the Jack of Clubs. 1, 2, 3. And then we have the 10 of Hearts. 2, 3. And then we have the 6 of Hearts. 1, 2, 3. And then we have the Nine of Clubs. And Ron says, one of my grandmothers used to read those playing cards. I was told, that's nice, Ron. I have really run into very few people who read playing cards. You know, Marie does on Marie's table, but I'm not sure of many other people who do this. But the way you read this line of cards is you read the first 5. And for this sample reading, we have somebody working for a company. There are 2 women working, and they'll be in each other's company, and they'll be drinking or taking drugs. That's the first half of the reading. Then you take this 5th card and you pick up the next 4, and that's the middle of the reading. So there's going to be drinking, a marriage will be discussed, someone's going to get a gift, there's going to be a loss, and they're going to sign papers. So they're signing papers over a loss. They may consider that a gift, because sometimes a loss is something that you can live with and enjoy the results. And then you're going to take the 5th card from that 3rd, and you're going to take this card and pull up the last 4, and you're going to read those all together. And this is a signing of papers with a dark boy in your home. Yes, it's going to be at a party, and it's going to be someone you haven't seen in years. Then you put all those cards together. That's the first reading. That's just the general overview of the reading. And then you're going to take the little stack of cards, the 13 that you pulled out of the deck, and you're going to shuffle them just lightly. And then you're going to pull 3 off. And this will give you the timing aspect. This will be the action a year out. And this is, someone's going to lose their job. It's going to be a fair girl is going to lose her job. The next 3 you pull off the top are going to be at 9 months. And in 9 months, a young man is going to be sick at home, a dark young man. And at the 6-month mark, we have the next 3, which is going to be someone's going to receive a gift, they're going to be drinking, and they're going to get married. So I would say that sounds like a wedding. Then the next 3 are going to be in the next 3 months. And that's going to be a party, someone you haven't seen in years. You're going to be in the company of someone you haven't seen in years at that party. It may be a surprise that you see this person. And that's at the 3 month, that's the first 3 months. And then the immediate one is someone's going to be a widow. There'll be a widow there at that party. And that is the basic reading using playing cards. And of course, there's a lot more to it. Like if you have, say you had 3 queens in a row, if they were all together in the timing sequence, they would tell you that someone was pregnant. A bunch of kings would be a man in uniform. So probably someone is either in the military, or you're going to have some legal problems because you're going to see a police officer or 2. And that's kind of the way I read. But you can go on and on. They can be read exactly the way Marie's table does it, and you can just lay the cards out one after the other, and just do a progression, reading in progression, following the line, as you lay the cards out. And pretty much any other spread would work, but they're not going to work quite the same way as other readings work, and you'll find that when you start to read. But I just wanted to cover the basics of how this works, how we get started. But the first thing you're going to want to do is to get a deck of cards and mark them on the bottom. And then each Saturday we will go through and I'll give you the definitions for each of the cards. And then I'll show you the spread over again. I'll show you a spread every week. That way you'll get used to the spread, the main spread that I use. Oh, and there's another spread too for asking yes or no questions. This method is very good for yes or no questions. The two of clubs is the question card. You want to lay that one down. Then you want to shuffle the rest of the cards. You ask a yes or no question. We'll use a recent one that Deb used. Is Deb's hair red? I know, Kitty. It's no nighttime. Go play. Come on. Go to bed. You shuffle the cards. Then again, you cut them into 3 piles. And if you're reading for yourself, you pick out the first pile away from you, which, when you're reading for somebody else, it would be the first pile towards you. Somebody's going to get married. There's going to be a party. And a fair man is going to be involved. And he's the guy that gives you good advice. This is the King of Cups. The kings, the court cards pretty much resemble in their meaning the tarot meanings for the court cards. And then, of course, you're going to pull 3 off the top. And you pick the first card, you lay it down at the top. Pull off 3 more. Then the 4th card, you're going to lay at the bottom. Then you pull off 3 more. The 4th card, you're going to lay to the right. Then you pull off 3 more. The 4th card, you're going to lay at the left. And then you pull off 3 more. And the 4th card, you're going to lay on top. Now we got an obvious no that Deb doesn't have red hair. And how I got that is we only have 2 red cards. The reds are always yeses. And the blacks are always no's. So we have a total of 6 cards, and we've got 4 no's and 2 yeses. So it's obviously washes out to a no. So Deb doesn't have red hair. And these you also read. We've got the redheaded girl is going to be at home. She's worried about someone that she hasn't seen in years, and she's going out of town. And the answer to her question is going to involve these elements. So it doesn't wash here in with my question about Deb's hair, but when you're doing a reading, it will tell you a story in regards to what your question was. And you just do them. It's like it's kind of like doing the center of the Celtic cross. It's very simple there. And just to let you know, Deb's hair is nice and purple again. It's beautiful. I saw her today. But that is just the basics of how you very immediately get started. That can start your reading right there. Now I'm going to have to do a file of the meanings. I'm going to have to do a PDF of that so that I can give you all the meanings of the cards, because all the 52 cards have different meanings to them. Hi, Teresa. Glad to have you here. But it would be nice to have a bunch of people to read with. So that's why I want to do this. I'd like to teach a bunch of people how to do this so we can all read together and read for each other, because it's a lot easier reading for each other. But this is the easiest method I know to read for yourself, because these are kind of nuts and bolts. They're day-to-day things that'll happen in your life. Like the 10 of clubs is your car is in question, which means your car is going to either break down or it's got a problem. And there are cards that tell you things like that. Like this one tells you you're going to have a loss, you're going to get into a fight, you're going to lie about something. See, these are very much more detailed day-to-day meanings on these. Like this one's a minor quarrel. Here you have a doctor, or in reverse, someone's going to need surgery. It gives you at someone's going to be jealous. You're going to have company. This is day-to-day events that these cards read. That's basically what I use these for, is just for day-to-day events. I have used them for politics, but they work better for day-to-day events. They can do politics. They can do any kind of readings, but I really like them for my day-to-day. What's going to happen today? And reading them for myself is kind of boring. I mean, I got to admit that my days are pretty much the same, one right after the other. I have a bunch of grandkids that I watch here and there. I run around with Deb. Her and Monkey come over, and I take care of my next door neighbor. So things are pretty mellow here. And it'd be nice to have some other people to read with. So I really hope that y'all want to join me and learn this method of reading cards. And I will just cover my method of reading cards. In subsequent classes, I'll cover the numerology type of reading, and I'll cover the tarot method of reading these. There's probably about 40 methods of reading, or more methods of reading playing cards. I have a bag full of reading. I have a bag full of the playing cards, and all are different methods of playing card readings. You got the Sibyllas. That's a playing card method. The Kipper is a playing card method. The Gypsy Oracle. This is, what is her name again? Anna Cortez has a method. The Lenormand started as a playing card method. Then this one is totally useless. But there you go. You have a bunch of them that there are so many different ways and methods. Here's the Gypsy Witch cards. This is a deck from the 1940s. So various methods of reading playing cards have been around for forever, nearly. We've got even more in here. There's the Roma method. I don't really care for these either, but that's another fortune telling with playing cards. Then there's the Piatnik Gypsy fortune telling. There's several methods. There's several types of gypsy reading cards. And then there's fortune telling destiny cards. And those are just the ones I've come across. There's going to be a whole lot. Okay, Teresa says, my grandmother on my mom's side read playing cards. Grandmother on dad's side liked tea leaves. Yeah. It's nice that it's been handed down, and it's so nice to have a little piece of your history to use on a daily basis. It kind of brings you, kind of makes you remember those that have passed it on to you. And then, of course, I've got the conjure cards. This is more of a West Virginia hillbilly type of method of reading cards, but it is a valid way of reading playing cards. And there are many more ways to read them than this. This is just what I've come across in the day-to-day. And I even covered when Marie was thinking about teaching, I studied I just watched what she was doing, and I made note cards on how she reads playing cards. So we can even put a little bit of that into it to give another texture to what we're doing. So the reading cards don't have to be stuck to one simple method, especially when you're having a reading that, you're not really getting the gist of. Then maybe you can pull in something else. You can pull in a little numerology, a little tarot, other methods that will add another flavor to it and make that reading spot on. But I just wanted to introduce this to you tonight and get you, and if y'all would like to learn to read playing cards, leave me a comment at the bottom of this video, and we will set a time for on Saturdays. I'll hold classes for just as many of you as want to come. They'll be free. This first set of classes will be free because it's just an introduction, and it's my first time teaching it. I haven't taught anybody else how to do this. So we're going to kind of be learning together a little bit this first session. So I'm going to do it for free for whoever wants to show up, whoever wants to be here, and we'll learn how to read them together. I know how to read them, I just don't know how to teach them. So we're going to figure this out. And I think we're going to get a good job done. I really do, because this isn't that difficult. You've only got 52 cards as opposed to 78 when you're reading the tarot cards. Oh, thank you, Teresa. I'm glad you're interested. And, it's less cards. The meanings are a little more direct. Well, they're a lot more direct than the tarot cards. The only thing, the court cards, you could probably get a lot richer reading of the court cards if you add a little tarot into it. But it served me well. I've been reading this way for over 50 years. So I kind of have it down. I know how to read them. But that's my introduction. Any comments? Just let me know what you think and let me know what time you'd be interested on Saturdays. And we can start this Saturday. Even though I'll be babysitting a little monkey, I can still hold a class. So after this live is ended, we'll go ahead and you can leave comments underneath to let me know what time you'd like to do it. And that's about all I got to say tonight. I just wanted to let you know what I have to offer and how we'll go about it. And a little cat is telling me it's past his bedtime. He doesn't like me to be on when it's past his bedtime. I'm going to just do, Deb, I'm going to just do it live on, I'll do StreamYard, but essentially YouTube. You'll be watching it on YouTube. And I'll just stream it live. We'll do classes like that. And then the later classes will be on Zoom, because I'm going to do more in-depth later on. What I'm doing now that's free on YouTube is going to be just an introduction. It's going to be the basics. And then we'll get into the more nuanced readings later in a Zoom class. And that's how I'm going to do it. Because I really just wanted y'all to get an idea of what I do. That's what the whole idea of this first class is so that you can see what I do and how I do it. And then we'll get into the more detailed readings later on. Are there any questions? Okay, I guess I can close this up now. I just wanted to let y'all know what I'm doing and how I intend to do it. So the first class will be free. It will be live. I'll do it on StreamYard, and you'll be watching it on YouTube. And we'll do it on Saturdays, and just let me know what time. And I'll pick a time that's compatible to most people, that most people can be here. And I'll get it started. But I finally reached the point where I have to start it. There's no more playing around anymore. I like that, Cecile. Thank you. Her curiosity is piqued. Yes, I just love this way of reading because it's so detailed. You know, it'll tell you, okay, your car's going to break down, but you're going to be going on a trip over water. So you're going to cross a bridge, then your car's going to break down. It's got that kind of detail in the readings. And it'll tell you if somebody's going to come to help. You know, there's different nuances to it that tell you all the details of your day. It really is fun that way, and that it can lay out a roadmap for your day. And it does have the time element in it where it'll tell you, okay, this will happen in immediately. This will happen 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, a year. Oh, the afternoon is good for you? Okay, Teresa. Let me write that down while I'm here. Yes, it will be available for playback on YouTube. Thank you, Deb. It'll be available for playback if you missed the class live. Hi, Cecile. You'll want to go back and watch this from the beginning because I do a lot of explaining here. Yes, Teresa, you can watch the replay if it doesn't fit in with everybody's schedule. Yeah, the replay will be available publicly for this first class. And then when we do further classes on, I'll figure out a way that people can watch it, you know, if they miss it. Cecile says 3 grandkids might get in the way of catching the live. I'll try my best. Yeah, I know the thing about grandchildren. I've got 5 of them. One's moving to Colorado tonight. And the youngest one had his birthday tonight. So I had quite a busy day today. So I know how that can happen. So yeah, the replay will be available. Yeah, and it's going to be fun. You're going to like this reading method. It's kind of quick, easy. You can do a reading in 10 minutes for yourself that'll tell you how to plan your day. That's one of the nicer things about it is that, yeah, it'll give you that detail. Okay, kitty cat, we're going to end soon. He says it's night time. I think my cat and my dog are older than I am. They both insist on being in bed by 9 at the latest. They want to start getting ready for bed at 8. And this poor guy had a little tussle and hurt himself the other night. So he's being a little more cranky. His little ear. Yeah, he got bit pretty hard. I think he's about 14 now. I'll have to get out his paperwork and see how old he is because he's been around for a long time. Yes, you have, Kit Kat. He's had a rough time. He had a rough time until he came here, and he's been here quite a while. Yep. He's a good boy. Okay, rottenness. Come on. Mama's got to love this. Mama's got to wrap this show up. Come on. Come on, pumpkin. Come on. There you go. Okay, well, I've got to put these guys to bed. I just wanted to get a introductory video out so that y'all knew what I was doing. And I'm glad y'all stopped by. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. So I will see you on Saturday, probably sometime in the afternoon. If the rest of you can leave me a time that would be good for you, we'll look and see what time fits best for the most of you. And that's how I'll run it. Okay, thank you. Bye. Okay, see you on Saturday. Good night, everyone.